Stop. Because most people over 50 make one silent mistake that slowly weakens their body without even realizing it. They believe doing the same daily routine, walking, light activity, occasional stretching, is enough to maintain strength and mobility. But the human body doesn't preserve capability through repetition alone. It adapts only to what is intentionally challenged. When key muscle groups remain underused, coordination fades, posture shifts, and everyday movements begin demanding more effort than they once did. This change doesn't happen suddenly. It develops quietly, over months and years, until tasks that once felt automatic require conscious attention. The goal today isn't intensity or strain. It's about activating patterns that reinforce stability, balance, and functional strength in a controlled and sustainable way. These movements are simple, accessible, and designed to reconnect awareness with physical engagement, helping restore responsiveness where it matters most. No equipment is required, no comparison is necessary, and no extreme effort is expected. What matters is deliberate participation, noticing alignment, controlling pace, and allowing each repetition to signal readiness rather than fatigue. Improvement builds gradually through consistency, reshaping confidence in motion and comfort in daily tasks. Approach this session not as exercise alone, but as investment in maintaining independence and fluid movement over time. Stay attentive, move with intention, and observe how structured engagement influences coordination and stability step by step. Before beginning any structured movement, pause and recognize something important. Progress does not start when the body moves. It starts when attention shifts toward awareness. Many people approach physical routines with urgency, believing that speed or repetition alone defines effectiveness. Yet sustainable capability develops differently. It grows from understanding alignment, sensing balance, and allowing coordination to guide effort. This step focuses on reconnecting those foundations so that every movement performed afterward carries purpose and clarity rather than mechanical repetition. Stand upright in a relaxed position, ensuring your feet are comfortably placed and your posture remains natural rather than forced. Allow your shoulders to soften, your breathing to settle, and your focus to remain steady. These simple preparations signal the nervous system to transition into engagement mode, setting the tone for everything that follows. As you maintain this position, bring attention to how your weight distributes across both feet. Subtle awareness of pressure points establishes spatial orientation, reminding the body where it exists in relation to its surroundings. This awareness is not abstract. It directly influences how muscles respond when motion begins. Gradually introduce gentle weight shifts from one side to the other, keeping transitions controlled and unhurried. The objective here is not range but perception. By noticing the change in balance and restoring symmetry afterward, you stimulate feedback mechanisms responsible for stability control. These systems operate continuously in daily life, often unnoticed, yet their responsiveness shapes confidence when navigating uneven surfaces or unexpected adjustments. Continue with deliberate pacing, allowing each shift to feel intentional. As familiarity grows, integrate slight knee bending during transitions. This introduces coordinated involvement of supportive structures that assist in posture changes throughout the day. Maintain upright chest positioning and steady breathing, ensuring tension does not accumulate unnecessarily. Precision matters far more than intensity. Refined execution strengthens neural pathways more effectively than exaggerated effort. Each repetition becomes an opportunity to reinforce communication between mind and movement, cultivating reliability that extends beyond structured sessions. Now incorporate controlled sitting preparation without fully committing to the action. Imagine lowering toward a chair, bending gradually while keeping balance centered. Pause midway, observe alignment, and return smoothly to standing. This motion replicates a foundational daily activity while emphasizing control rather than completion. Through repetition, coordination improves and hesitation diminishes, encouraging smoother performance when the movement is required outside practice. Remember to move calmly, allowing muscles to engage cooperatively rather than abruptly. As you continue practicing, maintain awareness of breathing patterns. Inhalation during preparation and exhalation during exertion supports rhythm and reduces unnecessary strain. Breathing synchronization influences endurance and concentration, anchoring focus throughout execution. Over time, This integration becomes instinctive, reinforcing composure during varied physical demands. Resist the urge to accelerate progression. Patience reinforces precision and preserves confidence. Transitioning further, incorporate gentle posture corrections between repetitions. Realign shoulders, lengthen spine comfortably, and re-establish foot grounding before initiating the next cycle. These resets prevent cumulative tension and sustain attentiveness. Structured pauses also provide opportunity to evaluate sensations, acknowledging feedback without judgment. This reflective engagement deepens familiarity with personal pacing requirements, promoting autonomy in future routines. Throughout this step, consistency remains a guiding principle. Even modest participation repeated regularly influences responsiveness more profoundly than sporadic intensity. The body adapts gradually, integrating repeated signals into baseline capability. Over time, individuals often notice improved steadiness during ordinary transitions, standing, bending, or repositioning, demonstrating the transferability of deliberate practice. Recognizing these subtle improvements reinforces motivation and validates persistence. Approach completion of this stage with composure, allowing final repetitions to mirror the attentiveness present at the beginning. Avoid rushing toward conclusion. Sustained focus preserves the integrity of engagement. Conclude by returning to neutral standing posture, acknowledging the work performed and the awareness cultivated. This acknowledgement strengthens psychological association between effort and progress, encouraging continuation into subsequent stages with confidence. Remember that this step represents foundation rather than culmination. Its value lies in preparing coordination pathways, stabilizing alignment perception, and fostering mindful participation. Each subsequent phase builds upon this groundwork, expanding engagement while preserving intentional control. Carry forward the attentiveness established here, the steady breathing, deliberate pacing, and conscious alignment, ensuring they remain present as complexity increases. Through this continuity, structured movement transforms from isolated activity into integrated capability, supporting everyday function and comfort. Now that the body has been gently introduced to awareness and alignment, it is time to deepen engagement by activating support structures responsible for controlled strength and coordinated balance. This stage builds upon the foundation you established earlier, transforming subtle perception into purposeful action, rather than increasing intensity abruptly. The objective is to introduce movement patterns that encourage cooperation between muscle groups while maintaining composure and control. Stand comfortably upright once again, allowing breathing to settle into a steady rhythm before initiating motion. Preparation is not delay, it is recalibration, ensuring readiness before progress. Begin by positioning yourself near a stable surface, such as a chair or wall. This is not dependence but reassurance, providing psychological comfort that encourages relaxed execution. Place your feet naturally apart and direct your attention toward posture alignment. Slowly initiate a controlled lowering motion as though preparing to sit. Maintain upright chest orientation, allowing hips to guide descent while knees bend gradually. Pause briefly at a comfortable midpoint rather than completing the motion, then return to standing with smooth control. This pattern strengthens coordination between lower body structures and reinforces timing between stabilization and propulsion. Each repetition teaches efficiency, distributing effort evenly instead of concentrating strain in isolated regions. Continue repeating this motion, refining precision with each cycle. Observe how balance responds and how muscles engage collectively to support transition. Avoid rushing downward or upward. Fluid pacing enhances responsiveness and reduces unnecessary tension. As familiarity develops, slightly extend the duration of the midpoint pause. This encourages sustained engagement, strengthening confidence in maintaining posture without haste. Over time, such pauses cultivate endurance and reinforce composure when navigating real-life transitions that demand steadiness. After several repetitions, introduce variation by altering foot pressure distribution subtly before descent. Shift awareness toward the heels, then return evenly across both feet as you rise. This adjustment stimulates additional sensory feedback and promotes adaptability and alignment. Everyday environments rarely present uniform surfaces. Training responsiveness to minor variations prepares the body for these differences without conscious effort. Again, precision outweighs amplitude. Small refinements accumulate into significant capability. Transition now into lateral emphasis. Instead of lowering symmetrically each time, introduce slight directional emphasis by guiding weight gently toward one side before descent. Alternate sides across repetitions, maintaining upright posture and calm breathing. This encourages engagement of stabilizing structures that support sideways adjustments during daily navigation. The nervous system interprets these patterns as readiness cues, strengthening coordination pathways that enhance confidence in varied motion contexts. Continue alternating patiently, ensuring alignment remains comfortable and tension minimal. Integrate breathing awareness further during this phase. Allow inhalation during preparation and exhalation as you return to standing. Coordinated breathing promotes rhythm and reduces strain accumulation, preserving fluidity throughout execution. Over time, synchronizing respiration with motion becomes instinctive, reinforcing composure and focus during activity. Treat breathing not as background function, but as guiding cadence supporting continuity. Now incorporate controlled stepping transitions. From standing position, take a small forward step, pause to stabilize, and return to original stance. Alternate sides gradually, prioritizing steadiness over distance. This movement pattern reinforces forward stability signaling, enhancing confidence when initiating locomotion. By pausing between steps, you allow sensory feedback mechanisms to recalibrate alignment, strengthening responsiveness. Continue with deliberate pacing, observing how posture adjusts naturally to maintain balance. As you proceed, combine stepping with partial lowering motion introduced earlier. Step forward, perform gentle controlled descent, then return upright and step back. This integration challenges coordination pathways to synchronize multiple signals simultaneously. Maintain attentiveness and avoid acceleration. Complexity should never replace clarity. Each integrated repetition strengthens neural mapping responsible for sequencing movement efficiently in daily contexts. Throughout this stage, periodically reset posture by standing neutrally and recentering awareness. Such resets prevent fatigue accumulation and maintain engagement quality. Reflection during pauses deepens familiarity with personal pacing and reinforces autonomy over progression. Recognize that progress is not measured by quantity, but by consistency and attentiveness. Conclude this step gradually, allowing repetitions to decrease in intensity while maintaining composure. Return to upright stance, observing breathing normalization and bodily sensation. Acknowledge the deeper activation achieved, not merely muscular involvement, but coordination refinement and stability reinforcement. This stage expands foundational awareness into purposeful capability, preparing the body for integration with more varied movement patterns ahead. Carry forward the principles established here. Deliberate pacing, attentive breathing, and alignment awareness. These qualities ensure continuity across subsequent stages, preserving effectiveness as complexity evolves. Remember that structured engagement accumulates influence gradually, shaping comfort and confidence during everyday activity. With this step complete, readiness for further progression has been established through patience, precision, and purposeful participation. With awareness established and coordinated strength activated, this stage focuses on integration, combining stability, mobility, and controlled responsiveness into patterns that resemble real-life movement demands. Up to this point, each action has been structured and deliberate, isolating certain aspects of coordination to build confidence and familiarity. Now, those elements are brought together so the body learns to transition smoothly between tasks without hesitation. This is where capability begins to feel practical rather than procedural. Approach this phase with calm attentiveness, remembering that clarity of execution remains more important than speed or intensity. Begin again in a relaxed, upright stance, allowing breathing to settle naturally. Observe posture alignment. Shoulders relaxed, spine comfortably elongated, feet grounded. This brief recalibration prepares the nervous system for integrated motion. Initiate gentle marching steps in place, lifting one foot slightly and placing it down before alternating sides. Maintain a steady rhythm, ensuring balance remains centered throughout. This seemingly simple pattern encourages coordination between lower body propulsion and upper body stabilization, reinforcing communication pathways that govern rhythmic locomotion. Gradually introduce arm participation by allowing opposite arm movement to accompany each step. This cross-pattern engagement enhances neural synchronization, strengthening timing and coordination. Keep movements controlled rather than exaggerated. The objective is integration rather than display. Continue marching for several cycles, observing breathing rhythm and posture consistency. Over time, such coordination training supports smoother transitions when navigating varied environments. Now shift toward directional variation. Instead of marching in place exclusively, introduce small side steps before returning to center. Alternate sides patiently, maintaining upright alignment and calm breathing. This lateral engagement develops adaptability, strengthening responsiveness when encountering spatial adjustments. Balance control improves through exposure to variation, reinforcing readiness rather than rigidity. Again, emphasize precision over range, allowing coordination to guide effort. Progress further by combining side stepping with partial lowering motion. Step outward. Perform gentle control descents similar to earlier practice. Then return upright and step back to center. Alternate sides gradually, allowing pauses between repetitions for recalibration. This sequence encourages simultaneous engagement of stability, strength, and sequencing awareness, deepening integration of movement pathways. Maintain composure, avoiding acceleration that could compromise clarity. Transition now into rotational awareness. From neutral stance, introduce slight torso turns while maintaining grounded foot positioning. Rotate gently toward one side, return to center, then alternate. Keep motion comfortable and controlled, ensuring breathing remains steady. Rotational engagement reinforces spatial orientation feedback, improving coordination when adjusting direction during daily navigation. Over time, this enhances fluidity and confidence in multi-directional environments. Combine rotation with stepping transitions by turning slightly before stepping forward or sideways. This integration challenges sequencing pathways further, requiring coordination between orientation and propulsion signals. Move patiently, allowing each component to remain distinct yet cooperative. Such layered engagement mirrors real-life situations where multiple adjustments occur simultaneously. Practicing under controlled conditions fosters readiness and reduces hesitation. Throughout this stage, incorporate periodic posture resets. Pause, stand neutrally, breathe calmly, and observe sensations without judgment. Reflection enhances familiarity with progress and reinforces autonomy over pacing decisions. Recognizing subtle improvements, smoother transitions, steadier balance, strengthens motivation and validates persistence. Remember that integration develops through repetition, not urgency. Introduce endurance emphasis gradually by extending duration of continuous sequences. Maintain controlled rhythm, ensuring attentiveness does not diminish as time progresses. Sustained engagement encourages stamina development while preserving coordination clarity. Should fatigue arise, pause confidently and recalibrate before resuming. Respectful pacing preserves effectiveness and prevents unnecessary strain. As completion approaches, reduce complexity gradually, returning to simple marching steps before transitioning back to neutral standing posture. Allow breathing to normalize and sensations to settle. Acknowledge the expanded responsiveness cultivated during this phase. Improve synchronization between motion components and enhance spatial awareness. This recognition reinforces association between engagement and progress. This stage represents transformation from isolated preparation toward functional capability. By integrating stability, mobility, and coordination, the body becomes more adaptable and confident in varied contexts. Carry forward the attentiveness, patience, and composure practice here into subsequent stages. Integration lays the groundwork for refinement, ensuring readiness to explore further progression with assurance and clarity. Now that integration of stability, mobility, and coordination is established, it is time to move toward refinement, enhancing control, precision, and responsiveness in patterns that mirror real-world demands. Up to this point, focus has been on preparation, activation, and integration. This stage shifts attention towards subtle adjustments, timing awareness, and strengthening neuromuscular pathways to maximize efficiency in movement. The body's capability is no longer about isolated exercises. It is about the flow of interconnected actions performed with attentiveness and consistency. Begin in a neutral, relaxed, upright stance, allowing breathing to settle naturally. Observe spinal alignment. Shoulders relaxed yet lifted lightly, chest open and feet grounded. These seemingly minor adjustments lay the groundwork for advanced awareness and fine-tuned execution. Start by revisiting controlled lowering motions with intentional pauses at varying depths. Instead of repeating identical patterns, slightly modify the angle of descent or the distribution of weight between heels and forefoot. These micro-variations challenge stabilizing muscles and sensory systems, encouraging adaptability without abrupt effort. Focus on smoothness and controlled timing. The speed of descent is irrelevant compared to precision and awareness cultivated in each repetition. Pause midway, sense balance, then return upright. With each cycle, the nervous system becomes more responsive, learning to adjust continuously to minor shifts and maintain equilibrium efficiently. Next, layer in directional transitions with controlled rotation. Step forward or sideways, integrating gentle torso rotation as previously practiced, but now extend awareness to subtler sensations. Micro-engagement of core, activation of lateral stabilizers, and timing between lower and upper body coordination. Avoid rushing. Let the nervous system interpret each signal and reinforce connections. This attentive sequencing builds confidence in executing complex movements with minimal conscious effort outside structured practice. Incorporate dynamic posture resets between repetitions. After each sequence, pause, lengthen spine, relax shoulders, recalibrate foot positioning, and allow breath to normalize. These micro-pauses prevent accumulation of tension, reinforce alignment memory, and maintain engagement quality. Reflection during these moments deepens the mind-body connection, allowing adjustments to become instinctive over time. Progress further by introducing slow, multi-directional stepping patterns with partial lowering and rotational elements combined. Step forward, shift weight laterally, turn torso slightly, descend partially, then return to center. Alternate sides gradually, maintaining calm breathing and upright posture. Each repetition now challenges multiple pathways simultaneously. Balance, stability, coordination, spatial awareness, and timing. Control complexity strengthens neural communication and reinforces fluidity in functional movement patterns. Integrate focused breathing throughout. Inhale during preparation, exhale during controlled exertion, and maintain rhythm consistently. Breathing guides timing, reduces unnecessary strain, and reinforces composure. The combination of attention, micro-adjustments, and coordinated respiration ensures movements remain efficient, sustainable, and transferable to everyday tasks. Finally, emphasize consistency and awareness over quantity or speed. Even small, deliberate repetitions repeated over time accumulate into significant improvement. Observe subtle changes. Smoother transitions increase steadiness, better spatial orientation, and heightened confidence in movement. Each session reinforces a link between deliberate engagement and functional capability, preparing the body for advanced refinement and ongoing independence. This stage solidifies the foundation, turning structured movement into adaptable, precise, and reliable skill. Carry forward attentiveness, composure, and controlled pacing into subsequent phases, ensuring every action integrates mind and body for lasting functional strength and coordination. This final stage is about mastery, transforming all previous preparation, activation, integration, and refinement into confident, functional, and fluid movement that carries seamlessly into everyday life. Up to this point, the focus has been on building awareness, coordination, stability, and precision. Now, these elements are combined to create consistent, reliable capability that supports independence, adaptability, and resilience. Begin in a neutral, relaxed, upright stance, allowing the body to settle and breathing to normalize. Take a moment to acknowledge the work done so far, understanding that every movement has prepared the nervous system and muscles for this advanced stage of functional execution. Start by revisiting controlled transitions from standing to partial lowering positions, now with deliberate variation. Shift weight subtly forward, backward, and laterally as you descend, sensing engagement in core, glutes, and stabilizing muscles. Pause at different depths to reinforce balance and coordination. Each small adjustment teaches the body to respond intelligently to minor shifts in load, improving real-world stability and reducing the risk of missteps. Emphasize precision over speed, letting awareness guide effort. Next, layer in multi-directional stepping combined with rotational awareness. Step forward diagonally and sideways, integrating slight torso rotation while maintaining upright posture and calm. Synchronize breathing. Alternate sides gradually, focusing on control rather than distance or speed. These sequences replicate common functional challenges encountered daily, turning, reaching, bending, and shifting, training the body to handle them effortlessly and safely. Incorporate rhythm and flow into movement. Link sequences of stepping, lowering, and rotating into continuous, smooth patterns while maintaining attentiveness. The goal is to establish a natural cadence where transitions feel instinctive, yet each action remains deliberate. Pauses for postural resets are incorporated periodically, allowing micro-corrections and alignment adjustments to reinforce proprioception. This mindful continuity enhances endurance, fluidity, and confidence. Focus on neuromuscular responsiveness by introducing slight, unexpected variations. For example, adjust foot placement subtly or vary the duration of pauses. These micro-challenges prompt the nervous system to adapt, reinforcing readiness for unforeseen demands in real-life scenarios. Each repetition teaches the body to anticipate, respond, and recover efficiently. Over time, these adaptations become automatic, enhancing stability, coordination, and confidence. Breathing remains a central component throughout. Maintain steady inhalation during preparation and exhalation during exertion. Synchronizing breath with movement optimizes efficiency, reduces unnecessary strain, and anchors mental focus. Conscious breathing ensures the body remains calm, engaged, and prepared for complex tasks, reinforcing endurance and composure. Conclude this stage with a final sequence of integrated movements performed deliberately yet smoothly. Move through stepping, lowering, rotating, and return to upright posture with controlled rhythm, attention to alignment, and mindful breathing. Allow a final pause and neutral stance to acknowledge sensations, recognize improvements, and reinforce a connection between deliberate practice and functional capability. This reflection strengthens mental association with progress, enhancing motivation and confidence for continued engagement. Remember, mastery is less about perfection and more about consistency, attentiveness, and adaptability. Every deliberate repetition reinforces coordination, stability, and strength, translating structured practice into reliable everyday function. By completing this stage, the body becomes not just prepared but resilient, capable of handling daily movements with confidence, fluidity, and safety. Carry forward these principles: mindful pacing, conscious alignment, synchronized breathing, and controlled complexity into daily life. Through repeated application, structured movement transforms into instinctive capability, preserving independence, enhancing mobility, and fostering long-term physical empowerment.